This is Brian, screenfiles.com and review. What I'm looking at is 2014's Ouija, directed by Styles White, which must be a stage name because it's an awesome name for a person. In any case, this is a movie that I've seen before, and I hated it with a passion. But that wasn't quite fair, because it's not a terrible movie. In fact, I would argue it's not a bad movie. The movie revolves around two friends, Lane and Debbie, and initially they're playing with a Ouija board, and nothing much comes of it. The movie jumps forward, I want to say 10 or 15 years, and Debbie is now also messing around with the Ouija board. She looks through the planchette, which supposedly enables one to see spirits. Her eyes turn white, she gets super cataracts, and she hangs herself with Christmas lights. So Lane, as well as her other friends, are very much traumatized by this event. Lane thinks that she feels Debbie in the house, so she decides to use the Ouija board to try to contact her spirit. This is such a horror movie trope, and very few of them manage to do it in a way that it makes sense. And Ouija is not any better, because why would you possibly want to do this again? You suspect that your friend hanged herself with fucking Christmas lights because of this board. And your response is to use it again. At least I can understand why they would do it a third time, being that shit is getting really weird. Why they would do it a second time is the issue. But in any case, that's water under the bridge. So they used the Ouija board a third time and determined that the entity that they've been talking to is not Debbie. And so the rest of the movie revolves around Lane trying to understand what is happening, and more importantly, why it's happening. Because this entity clearly has its mind set on killing them. As I said, it's not a bad movie. It's very much in the vein of James Wan produced movies, which are really light on characterization. They're very much about whatever is happening around a particular individual or individuals. But they're terrible at characterization. And this is why the 2016 sequel, Ouija Origin of Evil, directed by Mike Flanagan, is such a better movie by my reckoning. It revolves around people. And so you start to care about the characters. And when bad things happen to them, you feel it to some extent. And so Ouija, once you get beyond the weirdness, is a fairly bland movie. The story is interesting, but at the end of the day, it's not about people. It's about a lot of weird shit going on. Weird shit happening to individuals you don't care about. It is something that I wish were better done. There's nothing behind it though. It is empty. But you have a lot of style over substance. And while it doesn't make you invest in the characters, it's enough to propel you through however long the feature lasts. It's a pity, because if Ouija emphasized the people more, if they gave us a reason for caring for them in the first place, beyond weird shit happening to them. If they were attractive in more than a fairly bland way. If they had characteristics which made us interested, this would be a much better movie, and I suspect better received by people who see it. Speaking of characters, by the way, Lane's sister is a particularly interesting one. She is pissed off at Lane. She's very rebellious, and she is interesting, generally interesting as a character. But unfortunately, the movie gives us no information why she's so pissed off. She is probably one of the more interesting characters in the movie, in fact, though she doesn't exist in a universe where anyone else is. Though, let's not forget the great Lin Shaye, who gives a great performance in this movie. She is an actress that, no matter what she's in, she doesn't seem to restrain herself. She gives her all to the performance, as opposed to the actress who plays Lane, who has turned staring, apparently, into an emotional affect. Lin Shaye's character is generally interesting, and the greatest problem with it is that it's not in the movie enough. She probably doesn't have any more than, I want to say, 10 minutes of screen time, if that, and she does wonders with it. Ouija is better than I thought it would be. It is still too slick. It is still too manufactured. And it is still not about people. Though it is worth a look. Now, what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and review. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace.